What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with another presentation. In this presentation, guys, we're going to talk about when it comes to being around people. Don't allow yourself to be around a person unless they're helping you elevate financially, spiritually, or unless y'all have something in common with each other. When it comes to associating with people and dealing with people, guard your energy well. Like, you should not befriend a person unless y'all got some kind of similarities. If you shouldn't befriend a person unless don't befriend a person unless y'all have the same interests, they helping you grow spiritually, or they helping you grow financially. If a person is not benefiting you in no kind of way, if you don't have nothing in common with a person and they're not helping you grow mentally or spiritually, you should not befriend them. I had to learn that the hard way in life. If a person is not helping you grow mentally, spiritually, if you don't have nothing in common with that person, y'all don't desire the same things in life, y'all don't have the same mentality, what you around that person for? You don't need to be around them. You need to stay away from them because they're no good for you. You know, when it comes to being around people, only be around people that are worth being around. Everybody is not worth being around. Most people are not worth being around. And it's like, if you don't have nothing in common with a person, I mean, one thing I had to learn, what you doing being around them. You don't have nothing in common with this person. Y'all don't live the same kind of lifestyle. Y'all don't have the same mindset. What you doing dealing with this person? You wasting your time. And looking back on my life, I wasted a lot of time dealing with people that didn't benefit me in no kind of way. We didn't have the same mentality. We didn't desire the same things in life. So it's like, what I'm doing talking to you for? You know? And that's what I had to learn. So when it comes to dealing with people, just keep these things in mind, guys. Make sure that if you're dealing with a person, y'all got something in common. Because one thing I had to learn, when you deal with people that you don't have nothing in common with, you tend to fall out with them a lot of times. And this is another thing. You got some people that you could have similarities to. Y'all could be in the same position, but they'll still turn on you. So still be careful. Even if you have certain things in common with a person, y'all could have certain similarities or certain things in common, and then the person will still turn on you. So just be mindful. But if you see that you don't have nothing in common with a person mentally, don't deal with them. Y'all don't have nothing in common mentally. They not trying to help you grow financially, spiritually. There's no need for you to be around this person. Because in life, you got to deal with people that's on your level. I know you guys have heard me speak about this before. You got to deal with folks that's on your level, in life. Because if you're dealing with people that's not on your level, that's going to cause problems. If you're dealing with people that's not on your level. If you don't have nothing in common with a person, it's no point in you being around them. That's a person that you don't need to be around, And I'm just being honest, guys. That's a person you do not need to be around. And I know, too, this is a superficial reason, but I truly believe that looks play a big role in people choosing who they want to be around and who they don't want to be around. If a person, I think that's superficial as hell, but I know that looks play a huge role in a person deciding if they want to be associated with you as well. And looks play a big role in whether or not a person is going to hold you in high regard, meaning if they're going to respect you or not. Most people won't admit that, they choose friends based on what they look like, because that's a real thing too. But that's superficial as hell, but that just go to show you the way mankind is. But one thing I've learned in my life is I'm not going to be around nobody I don't have nothing in common with. if you don't have the same struggle that I have, if you don't want the same things that I want out of life, it's really no point in us talking. And that's the mentality that I think a lot of people should have, because when you dealing with people and you don't have nothing in common with them, eventually you gonna fall out. Y'all gonna eventually fall out because y'all don't have nothing in common no way. You know, you don't have nothing in common no way. So when you dealing with a person, y'all don't like the same things, y'all don't want the same things out of life, it's like, what we talking for? You're not helping me grow mentally, you're not helping me grow financially, so it's no point in us being friends. It's no point in us talking. And that's what I had to learn when it come to dealing with people. Like, if you're gonna deal with a person, y'all gotta share some kind of common ground. Never deal with a person that you don't have nothing in common with. If you don't share any common ground with that person, don't deal with them. Because when you deal with folks that you don't share any common ground with, that creates enemies. And that's how you end up falling out with people. That's how you end up falling out with people, because y'all didn't have nothing in common to begin with. Y'all wasn't on the same level mentally, no way. So I had to learn this through trial and error in my life, and I think a lot of people should incorporate this way of thinking into their life, because when you deal with people that you don't have nothing in common with, it's like, you know, you bound to fall out with that person because y'all don't have nothing in common no way. You know, yeah. So just make sure that whoever you dealing with, y'all got something in common. You know, and people are less judgmental too. When a person shares your same plight, when a person has, when a person likes the same things that you like, and when a person has the same issues that you have, they tend to be less judgmental too, because they can relate to you. You know, when a person can't relate to you in no kind of way, they tend to be more judgmental and more of an a-hole. You know, this is another reason why it's important to deal with people that you share common grounds with. You tend to be able to get along and y'all can hit it off better, you know. And I learned that, you know, through trial and error. And I believe too, that's why I had a lot of fake people around me, because I befriended people that I didn't have no common ground with. We didn't have the same struggle. We didn't have the same interests. We just didn't have the same mentality. And when you're dealing with people that you don't have nothing in common with, things are bound to end in mayhem. You're bound to fall out with that person. And y'all gonna end up going your separate ways anyway, because y'all didn't have nothing in common to begin with. Yeah. So yeah. I've learned that when people can relate to you, they tend to be less judgmental. But if a person can't relate to you and they don't think like you, y'all destined to fall out. Ain't no point in y'all even talking, you know? But yeah, that's life. Far as friends is concerned, friends come dime a dozen, you know? And one thing I had to come to terms with too is that, you know, a lot of friendships are superficial anyway. Most friendships are not genuine. I had to learn that. I'm pretty sure you guys know too. Friendships are not genuine. People befriend people based on superficial things anyway. Friendships are not genuine. People choose who they want to be around based on what they have, based on what they look like. You know, it's all based on superficial things. Friends are superficial too. You know, I had to learn that. No one is just gonna be around you because they enjoy your company. I used to want to believe that people will want to befriend you because they like your personality, they like your energy, they like your vibe. That's BS. No one is going to want to be around you because they like your personality. Friendships are superficial as well. Because usually when you see people who are friends, they're friends based on superficial things. Most people won't admit this, that I'm friends with certain people because of superficial reasons, but it's real. People are not friends with people because they genuinely like the person. I had to learn that too. You know, it's based on looks, it's based on clout, money, things of that nature, you know? So, that just go to show you that people, that just go to show you how superficial mankind is. Even friendships are not genuine. Even when people choose to be friends with certain people, it is based on superficial things. It's not based on, I'm going to befriend this person because I like their energy. Or I'm going to befriend this person because I like their personality. No. People don't care if you have a good personality or not. And people don't care if you have good energy either. People choose friends based on superficial reasons. This is why my mentality is the way it is. If you're not helping me grow financially, if you're not helping me grow mentally, I don't want to be friends with you. If you ain't helping me grow financially, mentally, if you don't have the same mentality that I have, what's the point in us being friends? What's the point in us talking? You're not on my level mentally. You ain't walking my walk and you ain't talking my talk. So there's no point in us talking. Blocked, blocked, blocked. That's the mindset you guys should have from here on out. But let me know what you feel about this. Leave your comments. Happy Saturday.